Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of our Community Access. This week we'll visit with our friend George White, who visited with a nota writer. Then Terry visited with two officers from the Oxford Bank. Then finally, Oxford Community Television has started to dig the dirt for our new station at Seymour Park. And the last story this week is our Dog of the Week. All today on our Community Access. Welcome back. We thank you for supporting NOTA. You know, NOTA helps so many people for helping folks to go to the doctors or handicapped or our seniors. This story is the NOTA writer David Stirnemann. With the story is our reporter George White. George?
Good afternoon. I'm George White, and I'm here at Oxford Community TV in the Our Community Access program. Many of you remember me from the green team at Wojo's, and I'm now helping out here at the studio, providing the programming for Our Community Access. I'm here today with a very special young man, my guest David Stirnemann. David, welcome to the TV set, and we're going to talk a little bit about David and what is involved in his life and some of the things that are of interest relating to David. David, first of all, tell me, where did you grow up and where's home for you?
Thanks for having me, George. I grew up in Orion Township, and I was born in Troy.
So basically your schooling was, I believe you were homeschooled?
Yes, I did go to preschool at Scripps Elementary School.
And then after that it was homeschooling?
Yes, kindergarten through 12th grade.
Okay, very good. And my understanding is that the organization NOTA that just had the successful millage pass in the community is important in your life. Can you describe to me why that is important to you and what it provides for you, David?
They're very important to me because since I'm visually impaired, I can't drive, so they help me by getting to and from school, and they come right to my house and pick me up and then take me right to the door at school.
So it's a very valuable service then that they provide.
Yes, even though sometimes once in a while there's a mix-up.
But those are few and far between.
Yes.
Very good. And as far as your own situation, you said that up until about the age, or actually early in your life, you had some vision issues, but the vision impairment really came upon you when you were about 15 then.
Mm-hmm. Actually I have a few other disabilities. The doctors weren't sure if I was going to be born, and so they gave my parents a few choices. One was to continue on with the pregnancy, terminate the pregnancy, or put me up for adoption. Mm-hmm. And they thought about it and prayed, and they ended up deciding to go on with the pregnancy. And thanks to prayers from my congregation at church and my Heavenly Father, He allowed me to be born.
And you're doing quite well today, even with the impairments.
Overall, yes, it's been an adjustment for me because I have some friends and some of them can't drive. So, but overall, I'm doing well.
Good. And you're studying now. Where is it you're going to school?
Oakland Community College in Auburn Hills. And my major is business administration with a concentration in accounting.
Very good. So you're partway in the program now, or nearing the end of it?
I am near the end. I have about 4 classes left, And hopefully, if everything works out, I will be graduating in April of 2019.
Very good.
And starting next Monday, I will be starting up for the fall, and I will be taking environmental science with Ken Urban and Foundations of Humanities with Georgina Trace.
Sound like very interesting classes.
Yes, the Foundations of Humanities class will discuss some stuff in art, history, and music.
Very good. And then as far as things that you enjoy doing, you were telling me early on that you enjoy listening to CDs, and what else was it that you enjoy?
Books, audio books on CD. I like listening to fiction and real stories and history, mysteries.
So it gives you a good resource for information and for entertainment.
Yeah, and I also like to listen to a show on WMUZ 103.5 FM The Light called The Bob Duco Show.
And what's that involved in?
Well, he talks about stuff to do with apologetics, and his first hour of the show is about politics, and he dives into more information that the mainstream media doesn't cover these days. Because mainly they just tell you one side of the story.
And as far as hobbies that you have, what might you describe your hobbies being?
Well, most of my time is spent when I'm in school studying for that, but some of my hobbies are listening to books on IOC like we just discussed, and I like to listen and watch sports. The Detroit Tigers, the Detroit Pistons, and the Detroit Lions.
Excellent.
And I just started tandem bike riding with a friend named Devin Tilfold from the church that I go to, which is called Tri-Christian Chapel, last year, since it's gotten more difficult for me to ride by myself since my vision has gotten worse.
So by doing tandem, then you can enjoy still the exercise and the riding and being out of doors, but having someone to help you.
Yeah, and also I just started going to a young adults group at Woodside of Troy called Collective, and they meet once a week for a couple hours on Sunday night and have a worship service.
Very good. And as far as you mentioned the sports, prior to your vision impairment, did you have an opportunity to play any of those sports when you were younger?
Yes, they were on adaptive teams.
Okay.
And some were with the Special Olympics of Michigan, and the others were with, the other one was with RARA, which is an organization based in Rochester, Michigan. And I played on a basketball team, a softball team, and a soccer team.
Excellent. Very good. So it kept you busy and physically fit. Very good. So, David, is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience before we draw this to a wind up?
Yes. Can I talk a little bit about my couple other disabilities?
That would be fine. Yes, please.
Okay. So I was born with low muscle tone, and I did physical therapy and occupational therapy to help with that when I was younger. And when I was younger, I also had some speech issues, and I did speech therapy to help out with that, just based on like the way that my mouth is shaped. And I was born with club feet, and I had surgery on them when I was about 18 months, and I had to wear braces. And I was born with shorter fingers and shorter toes.
Okay, so
And I did vision therapy twice to help with my vision. And the doctors just determined that it was, they thought it was retina atrophy for a while, I believe, but they just determined that it's retinitis pigmentosa.
that's the cause of your vision impairment then.
Yes.
Very good. David, in summing this up, I think you're a very remarkable young man dealing with these various handicaps, but yet moving on with your life and having a career that you're working towards, and it's been a pleasure talking with you today.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, you can.
I am 23 years old.
Very good. Very good.
Thanks for having me on today, George.
You're very welcome, David. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So when you see a NOTA bus, wave to the driver. NOTA helps a lot of folks. Next up, Terry went to the Oxford Bank to visit with the Dave Lamb and John Manzelli. With the story is our reporter, Terry Stiles. Terry?
Hi, Bill. If you can't tell by the logo that's behind us, we're at Oxford Bank, and I am with David Lamb, the president and CEO, and John Manzello, who is the director of wealth management, right? So Oxford Bank gives back to this community all the time, Bill. We all know that. And John has come up with a new way to give back to the community. John, you are a veteran, correct?
Yes, I am. Real quick, as I joined the Air Force in 1980, I was 19 years old. I was stationed in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I went over to England for 2 years on a cruise missile base, actually, so that was real exciting. So I just wanted to find a way where I can give back to our community in the financial world, because that's my career field, and I was just thinking, how can I give back to our veterans? Because I know they're very underserved with the big major banks, and since we're a community bank, this is the perfect opportunity to give back on a very one-on-one level. So that's why we're having this luncheon.
Well, I'm going to get to you about that luncheon and how you are going to give back. But David, I know that you have done, the bank has done many things for this community. How does it feel to you to be able to expand what you're doing for the community?
Well, I think it's awesome. We were super happy about John. John really came up with the idea, and John's very proud, well as he should be, of being a veteran, and has really brought it to the forefront to us that, you know, Veterans Day, we should, not just Veterans Day, but we should focus on our veterans.
And so now we're going to get to the nitty-gritty. What have you come up with as far as giving back to the veterans of this community, and how can we help?
All right, so I'm just going to kind of have a who, why, what, when, where conversation here. But so, like I said, we're looking for veterans of all ages, but we really want to focus on the Korean veterans. My dad was served in Korea. World War II veterans. We would love to have some World War II veterans there. Of course, Vietnam veterans. But really, it's open to all veterans. But I really want to honor the veterans that are, I hate to use the word older, but those are the veterans that really, really paid a massive sacrifice for our freedom.
Oh, well, and if you pay attention to what the veterans are doing for each other, it is the younger veterans that have come back from Afghanistan, anywhere in the Middle East, that are doing for the older generation of veterans. And you're right, they made they all do, massive sacrifice. So give me the details on what we're doing for them.
Okay, so on November 9th, we're going to go to the Orion Center. Should I give the address? Sure. Okay, so the Orion Center is located on 2525 Joslyn Road in Lake Orion. There's no charge to this. We're going to have food catered in. We have approximately 80 to 100 slots available. Half, 3/4 are already taken. We are inviting the spouses. So anybody who's got a spouse or a significant other or even another veteran, please bring them with you. We would love to have them all here.
Now, should they contact you first? Should they call the bank and say, we want to show up? How do you know how many people are going to come in?
Well, we're going to have a dedicated line. Brooke is my assistant, and I'm going to give you the phone number to call. It's 248-969-7238. She will take the reservations.
Brooke is over there. Hi, Brooke. And so, do you need volunteers to help you service these servicemen?
We have a few volunteers at the bank that are going to serve. We're really the World War II veterans. We have about half a dozen right now already committed. I've met some of them, and they really can barely walk. So we have a couple of bank volunteers to actually serve them. But we could probably use 2 or 3 more other volunteers.
So they can call that same number that you just gave us, and we'll put that on the screen. So we'll also put November 9.
Yep.
What time?
11 o'clock. Well, the hall's rented from 11 to 1, so we would just say get there at 11 o'clock, 11:45.
And they're not just going to be eating, they're going to get entertainment,
Yep.
and you want to hear their stories.
Yeah, so we're going to be asking probably a dozen of the vets, and haven't mentioned yet is a lot of my client base are already veterans here since I've been at the bank. So we're going to be getting their stories. I'm probably going to get them to the bank and get their stories.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice. Yeah. And I'm going to let them tell their stories because us veterans would like to talk about ourselves a lot. It's just the way we are. But they've experienced a lot more than I have. So they're going to tell their stories maybe 5-10 minutes, maybe 10 or 12 guys. And I want to mention that we're going to open the show with the Jimi Hendrix version of the national anthem. My nephew is going to do it for us. So that's going to be probably bring some tears to these guys because that's the Jimi Hendrix version came out right at the end of Vietnam War. So that's going to be real special, I think.
I think the whole thing is really special. David, I want to say for the community, and I know I'm speaking for everybody, thank you for what Oxford Bank does for all of us in this community. You must be really proud of this one.
I am. I'm super proud of John. I'm proud of everybody on our team, how much that they are engaged in the community. And look, we are a huge bank, so we can do things way better than anybody else because we are a community-based organization. So I really appreciate you coming out and giving us a chance to tell about our event.
Thank you, and we will see you there. And don't miss it. Don't forget, write down that number that's on the bottom of the screen. Bill will be there.
Good job, and I will be at the lunch. Thanks for the Oxford Bank. Next up, we have finally started the dirt on getting our new station at Seymour Park. With the story is again, Terry.
Hi, Bill. We're at 2795 Seymour Lake Road. I'm with Ron Davis, the Director of Parks and Recs, and I'm very excited. Soon to be our address as well as yours, right?
Yeah, it's very exciting. I mean, we broke ground today, so the ball is moving.
So let's, in case somebody was in a cave or something, let's walk through what are we doing here, what's going to happen here. Not only are we going to build, OCTV going to build onto your building, what else is going on?
Yeah, last year we moved our administrative office out here to the old maintenance facility. So now is phase 2 and 3, which would be adding a senior center with a serving kitchen, a warming kitchen, not a serving kitchen, a senior center with a warming kitchen, and then you guys would be attached to that building. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty neat to see it all come together.
It seemed like it was such a far-off dream for us. So we had some money in our general fund. We will be spending up to $350,000 to add on to your building. I think that's going to help everybody in the community, Bill. It's going to help you guys. It'll get more people out here, and we're going to have more access to the people out here. And how long do you think it's going to take to get this done?
Well, we hope to, have it all shelled in by November or December, and then we're going to really concentrate on getting you guys clean, wrapped up, so you guys can be in here by January, February. So then the senior center will probably be more of March, April, but it couldn't have been done without the support of our township board: Bill Dunn, Joe Ferrari, Curtis Wright, Elgin Nichols, Margie Payne, and Patty Dare. They gave us $300,000 to build the senior center. So the fund equity of the Parks and Rec is going to kick in $100,000. So it's a facility that's desperately needed, and we've had nothing but great reviews from seniors coming in. They're excited to get it done, so we can do different things like painting classes and photography and music lessons and our adult leagues, whether it's pickleball, bowling leagues, golf leagues. So it's going to be a unique facility for our seniors to come and do activities outside of just playing bingo and that type of stuff, which we'll do. I know I was misquoted on that, but yeah, it's going to be a unique facility for everybody.
And we are excited to be a part of that and to be able to record that history as well. So, Bill, come on out, have a look. They've already started moving that dirt around, and we can't wait to get here.
We hope to move in January and February at the latest. Now, here with our Dog of the Week from the Canine Rescue League.
Hi, I'm Marion at Canine Stray Rescue, and this is Reggie, one of our new little guys here. He's a super sweet youngster looking for a home, probably about 6 or 8 months old. If you wanted to meet Reggie, you can come up to the kennels during our open hours, which you can find on our website and on our Facebook. We also have on our website applications, a lot more information about the kennels. There's also applications to become a volunteer if you're interested in helping. Canine Stray Rescue now also has an Instagram, and with that added to our Facebook, which we started just a couple of years ago, we're getting a lot of people in to adopt dogs, which is wonderful. The more dogs find homes, the more we can save. We also do have our adoption events on the 1st and 3rd Saturdays of every month at Petco near Coles at Great Lakes Crossing, and on the 2nd and 4th Saturdays of every month at Harvest Time Farm Market and Pet Stuff in Oxford. We have dogs of all shapes and sizes, all ages. We don't always have puppies, but you can call. We sometimes do have young puppies available. Typically, the majority of our dogs are a year old or more, but we do sometimes have them a little younger like this, at 8 or 9 months, 5, 6, 7 months for these youngsters. Now, Reggie actually has a brother called Sparky, who's a little more shy than Reggie is. Reggie's, as you can see, very friendly. He's not very well socialized with the outside world, so he's a little anxious. He needs a home with somebody with lots of patience to teach him about the outside world. He's listening to noises out there now. As you can see, he's super, super friendly. We have usually about 55 to 60 dogs here at the kennels available, and we also have dogs in foster homes. Those are usually the ones that need special care because perhaps they've had surgery or not been well or just emotionally need more care. So if you were interested in coming up to Canine, please check out our website for our open hours and days. We are closed on Tuesday and Wednesday, but we are open for part of the time every other day, including Sundays. I'm going to let Reggie go in a minute because he wants to go play. So here he's watching you now. Okay, so do check our website, our Facebook, and our Instagrams. Thank you.
There you know, another great dog from the Canine Rescue League. You can visit with them at 2120 Minnesota Road, just a mile north of Myers. Well, that's all the time for this week. We hope you enjoyed our program. So, for our reporters George White and Terry Stiles, and for photographer Russell Currier and TriCaster editor Kyle Snadge, I'm Bill Service. And you have a great, great week.
The Michigan Renaissance Festival is about to begin. Tell us which OCTV show you're watching and we'll send you a limited number of tickets while supplies last. Just send a self-addressed stamped envelope to 1775 North Lapeer Road and we'll get them back to you. See you there. Huzzah!